Welcome to Love Light with Dr. Jean Marie Farish. Today, we'll show you how to use the spirit of love and self-worth to improve the connections with everyone else in your life. This program is your weekly gift, and it will keep on giving. You'll see. Now, here's your host, Dr. Jean Marie Farish.
Greetings and a hearty welcome, everyone. I hope you're all faring well. I'm Dr. Jean Marie, your Love Light host, coming to you from the Voice America Empowerment Channel, shining love light into your hearts and homes to inspire and empower you to create a life you love. Many thanks to our worldwide listeners who tune in live and on demand. Our show today is Anchoring Divinely Planned Codes of Light, Becoming Superhuman, with Judy Satori, joining us today from New Zealand. Judy Satori is an internationally recognized spiritual teacher, multi-dimensional channel, vibrational sound healer, and ascension way shower. She's based in New Zealand but travels internationally, and Judy verbally transmits energy words of new creation, like language codes from source creation that are divinely designed to activate and expand human capacity and ability. And her work with the new energy spectrum called ultralight creates permanent alchemical change at the level of cells and the DNA template, positively transforming people physically and emotionally and opening them to their gifts of spirit. Judy speaks many galactic languages and works with star beings as a galactic ambassador to open hearts and minds and to shift people into a more expanded version of self and what is possible for us all to create in life. So now I welcome Judy Satori on our show today, Anchoring Divinely Planned Codes of Light, Becoming Superhuman. Judy, welcome to Love Light.
Well, thank you very much, Jean Marie. It's wonderful to be back with you and to speak to everybody listening on the Voice of America platform today. And it's interesting, this topic. This sounds really quite weighty, doesn't it? Anchoring Divinely Planned Codes of Light, Becoming Superhuman. Really.
Yeah.
And so I want to really simplify it for everybody listening, what that means. And I guess the only reason I'm speaking about this today is because of my own experience over the last 27 years. So I thought I would just start by saying how it all began for me, because I'm just a very normal person. And at that time, 27 years ago, I was working in corporate PR and marketing and living life like everybody else. But what happened was I got a brochure in the mail, in my mailbox, and it was about a Learn to Channel, or what that means is Connect to Spirit workshop. And I felt in my heart that I have to go to this, that there was something really important about it. And so I went, and it was a whole weekend, and we did various exercises, sensing energy, and then we had to do an exercise where we imagined that we were walking through a golden doorway into the light and calling on the highest level spiritual guide who was aligned to us to come to us and connect. And that was quite a momentous experience for me, because I felt energies around me. I felt this energy really connect to me, and I started to shake a little bit. And I got in my head a vision of a tall man with quite dark skin, wearing a purple robe, and he looked a bit Persian, actually, to me. And it was really interesting because he gave me the name Balthazar. I didn't really know what that meant, but in the week that followed, I was sitting at my computer and I suddenly got the urge to look up the dictionary, Balthazar. So I discovered that Balthazar, in past life, had been one of the three wise men who was there at the birth of Jesus. And I got to understand that this being that was connecting with me had at that time been Balthazar, and he had come to me to start guiding me on a very interesting journey. And the interesting journey took me 5 years later, to suddenly spontaneously speaking these languages of light. And they just started to stream out of my mouth without me learning anything or doing anything, because the languages of light really are, they're like the sacred language of the soul that we all can speak. We don't learn this language because it's part of our innate knowing, but we can all connect to this language of the soul and just speak it. But what I got to understand is that I had been activated to speak it for a special reason. And the special reason was that my role on the planet at this time, in this human life, is to help take people through a process of human upgrade or evolutionary change, which affects us physically, but it also affects us mentally and emotionally and everything, in every way about our life. And that this process, Spirit described to me as being ascension. And they also said to me that ascension is not about going up, it's not about doing anything. It's about this process of human species upgrade, which is to do with activating more of the innate human DNA potential that we all have to switch on and express. So these anchoring divinely planned codes of light is all about me speaking energy words of new creation, which are transmitted automatically through me from Source, God, creation, universal creation energy. And it's a divinely designed plan. It's meant to happen at this way at this time, because all of humanity, all of us, are really, as human beings, so much more than we know ourselves to be. And all that really needs to happen is that the true potential within our DNA code needs to be switched on, activated, so that our physical bodies can upgrade and change, we can become more regenerated, and so that the way we view life can change as a result, because we all know that there are challenges in life on Earth at this time, in our human lives, but this is also a process of upgrade that we're going through. And it's really exciting, and it's really only my own experience of doing this work with Spirit for 27 years and going through this process myself that has helped me to understand it, and it has helped me to even write such a thing as anchoring divinely planned codes of light, becoming superhuman, and what that actually might mean for us today. So that's where we're at with this episode today. And this time on the planet, it's a time of excitement, really. I know many people feel a lack of hope, despair, anxiety about where the future is going and what it might mean for us all. But what's actually happening is that we are being taken through this process of change, like being led through the long, dark night of the soul, to help us understand that we are actually souls having a human experience, that we are so much more than we know ourselves to be, and actually learn to tap into that potential that we all have within us, because we were all divinely created by the divine creator. We could call that divine creator God, or the One, or universal creation energy. But I like to call God God, because that's the way I was brought up to understand God. And so I understand that we were created as divine beings to embody that divine source energy. And all that's happening now is that the old way of being is being shaken up, a bit like shaking a blanket and shaking all the dust off the blanket. And then that blanket of ourselves is being set down on beautiful new garden where we can begin to create life together differently, and that we can really pull on the potential that we all have within our human DNA. So Jean Marie, you know, I've known you for quite a long time, and have you experienced these changes in your own life?
Judy, thank you so much for asking that question, because I have felt a lot of change. And of course, I realize that when I'm in fear or feel overwhelmed, I realize that I'm more aware of myself, and I try to take that pause and step back and reflect and gather myself before going down that rabbit hole. And Judy, I know when I'm out of alignment. I know when I'm in fear. And we all can get to that point, whether it's looking around or going through life experiences, looking at what's going on in our world, seeing all the changes. And, I have my own way of resorting to self-empowering strategies, affirmations. I'm divine, I'm safe, I'm secure. Ways to bring myself back, whether it's connecting to nature and also, accessing your Ascension library with a plethora of resources. So for me, it's, I realize that I have the power to, make that change for myself, but it's a process. It's an ongoing daily practice.
Yes.
So thank you
It
so
is.
much for sharing that, for asking me that question.
You're welcome. And it is an ongoing daily practice. I think life is an ongoing daily practice, really. Every day, though, we have an opportunity to recreate our life anew. Every time the sun comes up, we can create a whole new structure around our life. We can think differently, we can be different, and it all really comes back to being still, I think.
Yes.
I feel that in the stillness of we actually recreate ourselves on the inner planes to then create and receive everything. I feel myself that when we're racing around doing life, we don't have the opportunity to really pause and reflect. And one of the things that I find really helpful in my day is to take time to pause, to put my hand on my heart chakra at the beginning of the day and just ask my heart and my soul, how it's actually feeling today. How do I feel? It's not about how my mind feels, it's about how my heart feels and how my body feels and what I can do in each day to actually be happy, to create little moments of joy in each day. And I feel myself that with this daily reflection, we start to understand so much more about our life, who we are, where we want that life process to go, because it doesn't have to be how we've always done it. It can be new and different. And all we have to do really is press pause and ask our soul what it wants for us as a human person, really. And that's why I feel, your program, Love Light, it's such an apt title, actually, Jean Marie, because when we connect to love within the heart, we connect to everything. We connect to the essence of who we are. But it only takes a moment. We don't have to take more than about 5 minutes or even 7 minutes, really, to just sit and be and to feel into that stillness within us. Because all creation begins in the stillness of the void. Everything began with the void. And remember, all creation happens from the stillness, from the void, and then life comes forth. So, when I started to receive the codes of light, which was 2002, I started doing a lot of work with karmic clearing. This is clearing blocked, sabotaging energy, past life trauma from the energy fields and the energy circuits of a person's body, because when the past life trauma is vibrating in the person's being, it actually deliberately affects how we think and feel and what's actually happening in our world. We are not our energy, but our energy can sometimes overtake us and feel like it's us. But when we clear that stuck and sabotaging energy, we think completely differently. We feel like a different person. So I began this Ascension library that you were talking about by working to clear karmic trauma from people and also to recalibrate the energy circuitry or the energy fields of the body, because as many people listening will know, it feels like time is speeding up and it feels like there's just such powerful energy impacting us on a day-to-day basis. So what my Ascension Library is also all about is helping us adapt to that energy, because since the year 2000 there's been waves of energy streaming to Earth from deep space, which have been really designed to activate changes within us, which are all about ascension and this human species upgrade. But if they hit up against energy trauma or energy blocks within the cells of the body or the energy fields of our body, we don't feel that good. We can feel really out of sync, and it can really bring us down emotionally. Because what happens is that when the energy hits up against the energy trauma blocks within the energy circuitry or cells of the body, old past life trauma patterns can reset to play again, and they play by vibrating through our physical self, and that will directly affect the chakras, these spinning vortices of energy that are like windmill sails that help to transmit energy through the body, through the physical body, and how our chakras function really affects us psychologically. So if a chakra is blocked or not functioning effectively as an energy windmill, then we don't feel that good either. So I feel that at this time on the planet, like Jean Marie, and we're speaking at the end of 2024, many people are getting impacted by the solar flares and the very fast-paced energy streaming into the planet, which is hitting up against energy distortion within them, all caused by past life trauma, really. So, yes.
Mm-hmm. That is so powerful, so enlightening for all of us to understand what's happening now. And, here you are sharing information to help us become superhuman and to upgrade. And I think we're up for a brief commercial break. And when we return, I think Judy's going to share some more information and energy transmissions to help us on our ascension journey. So stay tuned for more with Anchoring Divinely Planned Codes of Light, Becoming Superhuman with Judy Satori, author, vibrational sound healer, ascension, spiritual teacher, and wayshower. Stay tuned. We will return shortly.
Announcing Dr. Jean Marie Farish's new book, Love Mastery Devotion Journal, 21-day weekly prompts and affirmations. This is the companion piece to Dr. Farish's best-selling book, Living in the Spirit of Love, Our Natural State of Being. Through the new book, we invite you to cultivate a lifestyle of love through daily devotional practices over a 21-day period, following 9 ingredients in the recipe of love. Love Mastery Devotion Journal, 21-day weekly prompts and affirmations is available on Amazon.com and Balboa Press.
Jean Marie Farish's Center for Conscious Loving, LLC, cultivates a lifestyle of love and wholehearted connections through personal growth, altruistic services, and speaking engagements. Resources include classes, workshops, life care coaching, and creative service projects with an emphasis on cultural arts. Visit the website at drjeanmariefarish-consciousloving.com. That's drjeanmariefarish-consciousloving.com, or click the link on the Love Light show page.
Best-selling authors international news honors best-selling authors around the globe. Dr. Jean Marie Farish is featured in the newly released issue of Published magazine. To have first access to this treasured resource, go to publishedmagazine.com. Vicki Winterton and Dr. Jean Marie Farish have compiled a dynamic book, We're All in This Together, Embrace One Another, an anthology with 24 highly diverse co-authors who share how to spread the message of love, resilience, inclusivity, and compassion. This book is an invaluable source of uplifting, inspiring, and positive insights for spreading positivity in the world. We're All in This Together, Embrace One Another is available on Amazon.com. Be sure to get your copy today. Follow Voice America at Facebook.com/Voice America for juicy updates from your favorite radio shows and podcasts.
You are tuned in to Love Light with Dr. Jean Marie Farish. Feel free to connect with our program through email or check out our links on Facebook. Reach Jean at Jean72Farish@yahoo.com. That's Jean72Farish@yahoo.com. And now, back to Love Light.
Welcome back to Love Light, Living in the Spirit of Love. We have a very special, enlightening, and self-empowering show today with Judy Satori joining us from New Zealand on our show today, Anchoring Divinely Planned Codes of Light, Becoming Superhuman. Judy is an author, vibrational sound healer, ascension and spiritual teacher, and wayshower. And Judy, thank you so much for sharing your story, talking about what's going on the planet now and, our role in terms of ascension. So take it away in this next segment. And I think you're going to do some energy transmission and explaining the codes of light. So go right ahead.
Yes, I most definitely am. And then what I want to talk about first is that, we've all got our own story. We're all here in this life, in this body, at this time, for a reason and a season. We all have very valuable contributions to make. And one of my roles, I guess, is that I activate valuable contributions locked in someone's DNA from soul wisdom or past life experience, or what it is that you're meant to do and called to do in this lifetime, to begin to express and to come out and to help people walk their own path of purpose. That's very much key to what I do, really. So when I talk about the codes of light and I talk about my story, I'm really talking about the story, the soul story of all of us, because we've all lived many, many lifetimes, hundreds of lifetimes, maybe thousands of lifetimes. And they haven't been all on this planet Earth. They've probably been in other star systems within this Milky Way galaxy and even beyond this. So we have such a plethora of experience that we can actually learn to call upon and activate and access. It's a bit like, 100 or so years ago, they used to put blinkers on the horses drawing the carriages so that the horses would keep walking in the straight path directly ahead of them. These blinkers are like the forgetfulness that we experience when we come into a new lifetime. But now, because of this ascension process, many people are having the blinkers taken off, their forgetfulness. A few years ago I wrote a book called Sunshine Before the Dawn, which is coming out in a new version next year. And Sunshine Before the Dawn was the story of the deliberate creation of the human being and the deliberate seeding of Earth in the place called Mu or Lemuria 100,000 years ago, so that the Earth and beings on the Earth could be uplifted. But that's probably another story for another time. But what I've come to understand is that the codes of light that I speak, even though they're planned for a direct purpose, which is to activate human DNA, they also come from many, many different types of galactic languages. So I thought it would be interesting and exciting, really, if I spoke some of these galactic languages, and so that you can feel what the energy feels like, because it's not about the words necessarily, it's about the energy that you experience. And the only thing that's really convinced me that all this is real and I'm not completely crazy and making it up is because of my own experience. Because when I first started working with that guide Balthazar that I spoke about, my whole body shook like crazy. And I knew I wasn't making that up. And I could see what I was seeing. And I actually had a spiritual artist that I met. And I said to this artist, can you draw a picture of my guide? I didn't even say the name. And she drew an image on a piece of paper with pastel, which was exactly like the image that I could see in my head of this tall, dark man wearing the purple robe, looking just like I saw in my mind. So I want to speak 3 languages to you today. They are Pleiadian, Sirian, and the language of the star Aldebaran. So let's start with Pleiadian. And the language is going to be different, but it means the same thing. And this is the meaning. You are blessed. You are not alone. May your heart be opened unto love. And so you will probably feel this energy in your being when I speak the words. And you may well resonate with Pleiadian. You might resonate with Sirian. You might resonate with Aldebaran. And this is probably where you, as a soul, may have spent some time in past life before you even put up your hand, if you like, and decided to come to Earth and be incarnated in hundreds, probably, of lifetimes being human. So let's speak the Pleiadian language now. You are blessed, you are not alone. May your heart be opened unto love. Koda le kia de stia. Labata koda le kada ishto se koda labata koda la koda. La siege de bida kola koj niti. Mesu kola ko koshte la koda la koda da. Lushtiaka. So just feel this energy, what it does to you. What it does to your heart particularly, because it's all about opening your heart into greater love. Because love, the energy of love, is the catalyst. It's like the key and the way to our human evolution. It's everything, really, that is part of our human evolutionary upgrade that I call ascension. Being able to connect into deeper and more expansive feelings of love. So now we're going to say the same thing in the Sirian language from the star system of Sirius. Matia, Matia, Matia. Matia, Matia, Matia. Matia, Matia, Matia. And I know that those words mean you are loved, you are blessed, and so it is. And now let's get to Aldebaran, because Aldebaran is a very interesting star. Aldebaran was known by ancient astronomers as being the divine star of revelation. So it's like in the western horizon of the sky. It's what was known by ancient astronomers, Persian really, as being royal stars in the sky, like the holders, the placeholders of the heavens. And so the star Aldebaran and the energies of Aldebaran, this divine language of Aldebaran, is very much about revealing more that is within each of us. So when I speak these words from Aldebaran, it's still you are blessed, you are not alone, may your heart be opened into love. The energy of Aldebaran is going to reveal something for you about your life. So just be and let the energy do what it's meaning to do. Put your hand on your heart chakra and just be still. Kodala kite stuta sala kodala. Batsakota la kiste says about the kodakodostukolaki. Alabatakodokodo that's here, the batakoda. Apa kota la kata kota kastis sokota batakoda la kita tistada kota. Mekotu jisti tata kosi kusta to kota la kota da kota da okostia. So they're all a bit different. How did you experience that, Jean Marie?
Well, first of all, I get chills. And for me, I think keeping an open heart is so very important because we can shut down due to fear. And for me, it really is heart opening. And I've been in your presence on journeys with you where I witnessed, your light language and your transmissions. And it's always uplifting and heart opening. So for me, it's like I'm still getting chills and vibrating. So thank you so much for that.
You're welcome. So a code of light is really like a divinely planned imprint of sound and light. And the codes of light that I speak are designed to uplift people and to help us all be the very best expression of our human selves that we can possibly be. Because life on earth is changing, because there are so many people out there today who have been born into the bodies that we've been born into, to step forward and to do something really important, and to co-create and to contribute and to help our society and our communities change in very powerful ways. I feel that from January 2025, a whole new wave of very high energy, very strong, spiritual God energy is going to be flooding our planet. And this will in turn activate divine memory chips within our soul's Akashic records, which is our DNA code, to activate. So many of you who are listening today might suddenly have aha moments, like feelings of, I don't want to live my life like this anymore. I can't live like this. This is not life. This is not what I'm meant to be doing. And you might change your lifestyle radically. But understand that it's very important to hold on to the faith and the trust that we're not alone. I think this is the most important thing that I could say today, is that there is a divine plan unfolding, and that all of us, we're not alone, that we are together, and that when we share our experiences, no matter how slightly crazy they might sound, we actually empower others, because other people have had similar experiences, but they're a bit afraid to talk about it. And it's because we're all being opened up now. We're all divinely created beings, and we're all being asked to step into that divine divinity within us. So what, about 3 years ago, Spirit has begun to work with something called light life DNA recoding. What that really means is that the light of God, of Source, is bringing new life into the cells of our body. And it's working at the level of the DNA, because that's the recipe, the pattern for everything about what makes us human, from our physical selves to the way we think, the way we operate. Our whole metabolism is geared to what is translated by messenger RNA from our human DNA code. And so we are being rapidly upgraded. We're being rapidly upgraded so that we might truly connect through the heart mind to the God mind within us. This is the divine consciousness within us all. And through that divine consciousness heart mind to connect to all that is really like universal consciousness. And from that place of universal consciousness, we can actually become much better creators of our reality, like God creators, really. So I want to just teach everybody, Jean Marie, how to connect very simply with God mind through the heart. And it's easy. And you just put your hand on your heart, on your heart chakra, which is in the center of the chest. Put your both hands there. And just say to yourself, who I am is not really me. The me that I am is not really my name. It's not really Judy. It's not really Jean Marie. The me that I am is soul, timeless soul, and I'm just in this body at this time, having yet another soul experience. But this time on the planet, in this me person that I am, is very important and really special, because I get to co-create change on Earth, and I get to co-create with other people change at the grassroots level of my community, but also change on a global focus. So it's about wherever we are, wherever we sit, whatever our role is in life, we get to play on that playing field. But the playing field, and all the people playing on their different playing fields, as long as the heart is engaged into love, we'll be going in the right direction. So we just put our hand on our heart. We just open our heart. We just say the words, with the power of God that I am, I open my heart. With the power of God that I am, I open my heart into God mind, which is the heart of the creation within us all. And through that God mind heart connection, I open to divine source. I open to all that is. I open to my magnificence. I open to my God-given creative powers. Because God is with us all. This energy of universal consciousness, of universal source creation, is part of all of us, and we can connect through our intention, just by the words that we say, to that source creation anytime we choose. And then we just have to ask of that source creation what we want, just by speaking the words, with the power of God that I am, I create miracles, I manifest miracles, I manifest abundance, I am abundant. It's in how we speak, it's our belief, it's our faith, it's our trust that we as God creators can manifest and create anything that we put our mind to. But it has to be our mind connected through the heart, you see. And that's where people get tripped up sometimes, because a lot of people, when they're going through stress, create from a place of begging, please, please help me. And prayer is also important. Prayer is really important. But when we pray to the divine source, God, we also have to let go and trust that God's source is there with us. And that's the missing link for many of us, really, is we speak the words of what we want to create, and then we let it go, knowing that that creation of what we have spoken about is already manifested and in our lives. So it's a complete step into greater trust, really.
Judy, thank you so much for that. That is so powerful. And we are ready for a brief commercial break. So listeners, stay tuned for more with our outstanding guest, Judy Satori, joining us today from New Zealand, vibrational sound healer, Ascension Wayshower, spiritual teacher. On our show today, anchoring divinely planned codes of light, becoming superhuman. Stay tuned. We'll return shortly.
Dr. Jean Marie Farish is proud to announce the release of her new book, Living in the Spirit of Love, Our Natural State of Being, available now at Balboa Press. This book will help you master your life and flourish in love. You'll learn how to become a better and more evolved you. Feel good by making life-affirming choices. Deepen your feelings and expressions of love. Tune in love and sustain the change. And flourish in love and find your joy. Visit BalboaPress.com and search for Living in the Spirit of Love and enjoy Dr. Farish's new book today.
I'm Judy Satori. I'm a spiritual channel and activator of human potential. You might have heard me speaking on the Voice of America on Dr. Jean Farish's show, Love Light, because I've been speaking about the challenges that are besetting all of us right now and how we can surrender but also keep on going. I want to invite you to join my new Facebook group that is devoted to heart-centered connection and unity. Through this Facebook group, you can also join my free access question and answer session with Spirit on the first Wednesday to Thursday of every month. Just search Ascension Community on Facebook to join the group. In this session, I answer questions and transmit energy from Spirit to give you guidance and support. Because life on planet Earth ain't easy right now. And there is so much help from above, from beings of love and light, from multidimensional realities who are actually here with us, wanting to step up and support us. I welcome you to become part of our ongoing group conversation about evolutionary change and how it's affecting us as human beings and affecting our life today. Many blessings to you. You can find out more about me and my work at www.ascensionlibrary.org. Have a wonderful day.
Announcing Dr. Jean Marie Farish's new book, Love Mastery Devotion Journal, 21-day weekly prompts and affirmations. This is the companion piece to Dr. Farish's best-selling book, Living in the Spirit of Love, Our Natural State of Being. Through the new book, we invite you to cultivate a lifestyle of love through daily devotional practices over a 21-day period, following 9 ingredients in the recipe of love. Love Mastery Devotion Journal, 21-day weekly prompts and affirmations, is available on Amazon.com and Balboa Press. Best-selling Authors International news honors best-selling authors around the globe. Dr. Jean Marie Farish is featured in the newly released issue of Published Magazine. To have first access to this treasured resource, go to publishedmagazine.com.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You are tuned in to Love Light with Dr. Jean Marie Farish. Feel free to connect with our program through email or check out our links on Facebook. Reach Jean at Jean72Farish@yahoo.com. That's Jean72Farish@yahoo.com. And now, back to Love Light.
Welcome back to Love Light, living in the spirit of love. And if you are just joining us, we are with our outstanding guest today, Judy Satori, joining us from New Zealand on our show today, anchoring divinely planned codes of light, becoming superhuman. Judy is a vibrational sound healer, ascension wayshower, spiritual teacher, author, and we are delighted to have her today for these enlightening transmissions and sharing her insightful wisdom to get us on the way, on our path to our ascension journey. So Judy, we're here for our segment 3, so share with our listeners what you will focus on in this segment.
Okay. Thank you very much, Jean Marie. What I really want to do now is to bring through some energy transmissions, some codes of light that I hope will make a difference in everybody's lives who is listening to this program. You know, it's not easy for anybody right now. I feel that it's scary. A lot of people have anxiety, worried about politics, worried about what's happening out there in the world, worried about their families, their survival. And so what I was getting before I came on the show today was to talk about energy transmissions for love, peace, and hope fulfilled. So let's begin with love. I've worked with many beings over the years that I feel I can see in my inner sight, but I can't see visibly as if they're standing in front of me. But the reason I've got to know that they're real is because of the energy and because I know it's not me when I'm speaking. I feel this energy linking with me and coming through very strongly. So the energy, the being that wants to bring through transmissions for love is actually Kuan Yin, the Buddhist goddess Kuan Yin. And Kuan Yin, in previous life, she's what's called a bodhisattva. And a bodhisattva is someone who deliberately incarnates as a human to help serve humanity. So in previous life, Kuan Yin was a bodhisattva to serve humanity. So she's still doing it, whether she's actually in physical form at the moment or not. And she wants to work with us through the heart. So just put your hand or your hands back on your heart chakra in the center of the chest and prepare to meet Kuan Yin. Koshli sina bala koshi sala kodala. Pata kodali koshtia la kota koshtakhi samada kojini. La pato koshli kota la kojini sala kodala koshtia la kota. O kota la koshtia la kota koshata kosa kota. No kota la kota li stasa koda shtia la koshta kasa kota. She's actually saying to us, if we could translate it also into English, dry your eyes. She's the bodhisattva of compassion, so she's saying, dry your eyes. Do not shed tears for your current situation. All is changing. Trust this process. Trust the process of divine renewal that is going on within you. Trust the process of divine renewal that is going on out there in your world. All is not lost. All is well. Mukhye kasi la stan bela kolakisa to shlokala. Amla koti shtista kulikishta kozu kulikuda. Labadakolokota la kijisieka luchiliogo stada balakoda lakota. Ekota kisieka zabalakoda lishoka sabatakoda. Lapi kisa kushte zabalako. Likosieko shliga zabalakola kajdaka. And there's those words again, Matia, Matia, Matia. You are loved, you are blessed, and so it is. And now we have another being who I see as Sanat Kumara, speaking about peace and hope fulfilled. Oishlia, apakoda e shia koda la kushinsu, moko ka, moshtokaraka. So Sanat Kumara, like Lord of the World, one of the beings who is really helping to guide us all through this ascension process, this divinely orchestrated and designed by God ascension process. Remember, ascension is not going anywhere. Ascension is just activating more of our innate human abilities and potential. This is very much about you are not alone, you are not alone, God is with you. It's like know this and then more will be added unto you. So it's like what we have to understand is that when we feel ourselves as being wealthy, for example, we feel ourselves as having absolute abundance. That feeling that we deliberately create within us is, I am abundant, I am so wealthy, I have all my needs are met, I have everything that I desire and wish for in life. If we speak those words and we feel that energy in particular, more of that energy will come to us in reality, in the living of our life, and what we actually create and receive in life. So he's really helping us understand that with the energies that are streaming ever more powerfully to the planet, this is like the wind beneath our wings. It could be used as the wind beneath our wings, where we just connect to this powerful streaming energy and create what we wish for, really. So it is the time of miracles and magic on Earth. We just have to link into the divine flow and link into divine consciousness. And we remember that we just do this by putting our hand on our heart, saying, with the power of God that I am, I open my heart into love. With the power of God that I am, I connect through my heart mind with God mind, which is linking in to this powerful creative force. Link in, sit in meditation, deliberately linking your energies into this creative energy. And then speak the words deliberately for what you want to bring into life. By saying, with the power of God that I am, I manifest, I create, I bring in whatever you want, whether it's health, abundance, anything that would make your life more enjoyable. Because Spirit always say to me that life should be about beauty, surrounding ourselves with beauty. It should be about love. It should be about joy. And really we need to close the gap, all of us. And it may seem really difficult to close the gap when we look at our job, we look at where we live, we look at the bills coming in. But when we start to change our consciousness and we start to truly activate that understanding, like it's an energetic understanding that we are part of God and God is part of us. And as we are part of God and created by that God energy, so we can create exactly the same, maybe in a much smaller scale, of course, but we are still linked into that special energy. And Sanat Kumara and all beings of light really want to bring for us this energy of hope fulfilled, knowing that you have exactly what you wish for in life. This is like a magnetic. So when you listen to this or just play this or just deliberately create this feeling in your heart, so you will pull to you what you desire so much better. Kushli, si sabatako de stos, Balakoda la costu, Lapataco da la Kistaka Sapataco de Colacolia, Abelstad, Abataco de Calabatacala stores, Abataco de Cla, Lessy, the Batacola, the Store, the Labacata. O Cotas did Cotash, the cause the cottage to Cotabatacota. Montake Sakota la Cota Castos, Sakota Data. Mokota Calacadash, the Cota Batacoto, the Steen, Batacoto Star. So divine source, God is with us all. Whether we call God God, it's not about religion, it's about knowing that we are part of that divine creative source that created us, that created nature, that created the flowers, the birds, the trees, everything on our world, but also throughout the cosmos, within this galaxy and beyond. There was a creative source for all this, of course. It is so perfectly planned, perfectly unified. We have the Fibonacci sequence. We have the divine design that is played out everywhere we look out there in nature. And so this is not random. It's not by chance. It is divinely created. And so are we. We're God's special human creation. And when we truly understand that we are part of that energy of creation, we don't feel alone. We feel that we are being blessed, that we are being looked after. We just have to get back into love, really. And we have to help others because it's all about unity and community. And what we sow as human people, what we do, our actions, our deeds, they come back to us like a boomerang through the actions and deeds, not only of other people in our world, in our relationships, but also in what comes to us energetically in life. Because what we are vibrating at in the cells of the body will directly, in our energy fields, will directly pull in that like vibration. This is Einstein's law.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like attracts like. So there's nothing new really under the sun. It's all just a more expanded understanding that now it's our time to step into these creative abilities for ourselves as people.
Oh, Judy, thank you so much for this enlightening and empowering episode today. And we thank you, we thank the divine beings who came through today with such inspirational messages to help us know, as Judy indicated through her channeling, you are blessed, you're not alone. May your heart be open to love and to trust the process of divine renewal. We thank you so much for being here today. We invite our listeners to listen back on demand and share our show with others, and to visit Judy's Ascension Library that has 1,000+ energy transmissions programs that cover all aspects of sound vibrational energy, healing, spiritual channeling, karmic clearing, opening the heart into love, personal empowerment, you name it, it's there. You can visit her Ascension Library, www.ascensionlibrary.org or www.judysatori.com. Judy, thank you so much today for being here. Much gratitude to the Voice America team for making this show a reality and for shining their love light around the world. This is Dr. Jean Marie, your Love Light host, coming to you from Voice America. And until we meet again, remember, an empowered self is a loving self. And keep your love light shining. Thank you so much, Judy, and thank you, listeners, for tuning in.
Thank you. Thank you, Jean Marie. It's been a pleasure to be on the show today with you and to speak to everybody on Voice America. Thank you.
Thank you. Much gratitude.
Thank you for listening to Love Light this week. Be sure to join Dr. Jean Marie Farish again for another program next Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific Time and noon Eastern Time on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Have a wonderful week. filled with love, self-worth, and better connections.